Here we are heading with our Kubota, just pulling into the site here with Jay.
What's up?
So we got a bunch of walkways we got to put in today, starting here at the bottom of the street. We got to go all the way up this whole street here. I think it's 30 units or so. Got to put in the temporary patio slab walkways. Goes up and all the way to the top and then around to the other side. So once we're done that side, or we might even start up here actually, whatever side, we got to do them all. So, and this is the other side here. So once we finish, we might even start up here because this is where I see some stone, some gravel for us to get started. Over there, got some 3/4 crush. So again, this is putting some temporary walkways that we'll be adjusting in the spring, but to close the houses, they need to get those in. So we're gonna start the first town block down there and work our way around. So let's get this thing unloaded and get to it. Good morning, good evening. Welcome back to another Dirty Diggers video. So in this video today, what we are doing is putting in some temporary walkways. These are walkways that are just patio slabs, and they are essentially from the front door of the house to the driveway. These are necessarily something that the builder has to put in because of getting occupancy for the house. You legally can't close the house without putting a patio in. That's why we're doing this even in the middle of winter, because houses are closing and they need to get these in. You can tell that it's not the best time here to be doing this, but unfortunately, due to the fact that it needs to be done, we got to come out and get these installed for them. So again, even in the winter time, it makes it a lot harder with the frost. You can see we're dealing with here, trying to scrape away all the frost, high spots, and debris left behind from all the construction. And it's usually quite difficult to get rid of that with the skid steer. But before we put some granular material down, usually we use a 3/4 crush gravel. Before we put some of that down, we have to get rid of some frost and some debris that's in the way to be able to get that on the right height to put the patio slabs in. So you'll see us go through all the houses we go through before, clean up as much as we can. Snow, we want to remove as much snow as possible, and debris. Again, we know that normally you should be compacting this and doing walkways in a very different way, but keep in mind these are temporary just to get occupancy on the houses. So it's just something that has to be done, and it's not about making it super pretty. It's just kind of do the best you can for the situation that it is. So again, not ideal, but it is what it is. So we'll go through, remove all the debris and snow and lay down gravel, then do the walkways and backfill them with gravel around the edges to lock them in, and that's it. Once we get to spring and summer, we come back, lift all the patio slabs up, readjust them then, and depending on the homeowner, it's up to them after if they want to do a fancier walkway. But the builder just installs the basic, which is just some standard patio slabs, prefabricated cement basically, that are squares, and we just install those for a walkway from your front door to the driveway. So as you guys have noticed as well, I've been sort of going through this a lot quicker. It's again over 30 houses we did, and they're all pretty repetitive. So just trying to show you a little bit of the process of you know, scraping the stuff, bringing the gravel in. Jason rakes it out. I place the slabs, move on to the next, start prepping the next one while he lays the slabs on the one I just prepped. And it's basically that cycle over and over.
Got the new setup now, both forks to one side. Put more pressure into the ground to break up all the frost. Yeah, just tearing through it.
Most of them are only 4 slabs, so it's not too bad, but some of the walkways, like the first one you saw, and some of these other ones are like an actual little walkway we have to do coming around. Now what you can see here is me with the forks trying to break up all this frozen material. I just couldn't get through it with the bucket, way too frozen. They do have a backhoe on site, but of course he's apparently way too busy, couldn't come by and break this up for us, so it was on us to try and break this up the best we can with what we have, and all we have is the Bobcat and some forks, so not ideal, but just to get through a little bit so we can at least scrape some of the material away, so we can put a little bit of gravel down, because the fill was actually higher than what the patio is supposed to be, and you can see debris everywhere. Unfortunately, it wasn't very clean for us, but again, that's normal when you're dealing with builders who do mass production. They do a lot of homes. It's just typical to have this as one of the things we got to deal with, but it is what it is. We do the best we can, and we improvise to rip the frost the best way we can with trying to do any damage to the machine. Unfortunately too, with the tracks, as soon as you spin a little bit, it just creates ice, and before you know it, you're just sliding around in ice and you can't even get any traction. So it's another thing that made it a little bit difficult, but we managed to get it done. And yeah, just showing you guys how we ripped the frost when the bucket couldn't manage it. Alrighty, so here we go. We got 5 blocks of townhouses done in one day here. All the patio slabs in. We got this block done. We got that block done there. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units on that one. I think most of them are 6. One of them I think was 7. We did the block down there, the last one at the end of the street, and the 2 on the other side of this island in the morning. So a total of 5 blocks. The towns, I think it was just over 30 units. I don't know if it was 31 or 33 units total that we did. But yeah, so got that all done. Managed to finish it all, load it up, and ready to head back to the shop. Ready to head back to the shop?
Yeah, man. Let's go.
Let's call her a day. Alrighty, peace out.